Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Coach T's Hard Knock School of Business, where business knowledge meets street knowledge. That's right, where business knowledge meets street knowledge. Hey, listen, here's the deal. You already know. You already know. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to this channel. That's right. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Listen, we're going to continue. We're going to continue our series on marketing. That's right, baby. We're going to continue our series on marketing. We've been talking about a whole lot of marketing, and today we're going to continue that series. And what we're talking about today, radio. We're talking about advertising on radio. I mean, listen, you drive down the street all the time. You're sitting in your car and you're listening to your favorite radio station, and you hear that one ad that comes on all the time that you can recite it verbatim because you just like the jingle, baby. You like the jingle. But hey, here's the thing, man. Advertising on radio is not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. Only thing about advertising on radio is, you gotta be kind of savvy. You gotta be kind of savvy because radio sales agents are real slick. Radio sales agents are real slick. So here's the deal. They don't know your business like you know your business. Guaranteed. They don't know your business like you know your business. For instance, when my first advertising opportunity, I was advertising a youth football camp. I was trying to recruit kids for my second grade football team. Now, I mean, yeah, I know that sounds crazy. You're recruiting kids for a football team, for a second grade football team, but that's just how crazy it is here in Texas with football. Anyway, initially, it was tough getting in contact with the sales agent. It was tough, right? I mean, you leave a message because I wasn't a normal, I wasn't a regular guy that was sponsoring the show, a regular person that was purchasing ads. So it took a minute. It took about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks to get a call back to talk to the sales agent. Now, here's the thing. The sales agent really doesn't know your business like you know your business. Now, I say that because they're going to try to get you. Well, I'm not going to say they're going to try to get you. So the experience that I had initially, and I advertised on radio several times, and they've been very consistent here in the local area where I am. Basically, they're going to ask you, what is the event? When is the event, right? And they're going to tell you, you need to buy multiple ads. Typically, they want you to buy at least 7 spots. Now, when you buy advertising on radio, it's called spots, right? It's called spots. And they're going to say you need to buy several spots. And they're right. You probably do need to buy 7 spots because, it's just a marketing rule of thumb. Somebody needs to hear your ad 7 times before they really pay any attention. But with that said, if you only get 7 spots, they only starting to pay you, and they only paying attention at one time. So I mean, you probably need to get more than 7 spots when you advertise. Now that's a whole other concept. That's another ball game. I'm not really getting into your deep pockets and your budgets right now. But the bottom line is you need to know where you want to advertise. But what they're going to tell you is they're going to say, hey, you need to advertise in various segments because you need to advertise in the morning, advertise in the noonday, advertise in the evening, advertise overnight, right? And they got different cost values for each one of those different types of spots. But here's the thing: you need to know the target because so for instance, an overnight is, I think, like from 10 at night to maybe 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning or something like that. Listen, just myself, I'm trying to advertise for a youth football camp. Who's listening to the radio between 10 and 2, 10 at night to 2 in the morning? It's probably not the parents of the kids that I'm trying to recruit, right? So why should I be advertising overnight? Well, here's the thing. They got to spread those time slots out. They got to pay for each one of those different segments. Hey, don't get caught in there. You know where your market is. I wanted my market to be from 6 to 9 o'clock or 6 to 10 or whatever time that was that the parents were on the highway taking their kids to school, getting ready to go to work. That's when I wanted to advertise to my parents, right? So what I'm telling you is you need to know when your target market is going to be listening to the radio. Okay. Now, with that said, that's a whole nother conversation. You got any more comments? If you got questions about determining when your market is listening to the radio and radio spots, I mean, just hit me up on my website, TerodRobinson.com, and sign up for a consult because we probably need to talk about that. This could get pretty heavy. Now, I told you, I said, radio advertising comes in spots. You buy radio advertising in spots. Spots can be 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, right? Now, here's the thing. When you listen to the average radio ad on the radio today, it's probably about a 60-second spot. Okay, because they're trying to make sure that this space is covered on the air. Man, 60-second spots are good, but you need to determine how many 60-second spots you want, how many 30-second spots you want, how many 15-second spots you want. They don't like to sell the 15-second spots. They will sell the 30s pretty quick, but they don't like to sell the 15-second spots. The reason being is the 15-second spots, in order to make up a radio, the space of advertising on a radio station, the normal space is 60 seconds. So if they sell you a 15-second spot, then they got to sell somebody else either a 30-second and a 15, or they got to sell 3 other 15s, and it's tough, right? So, you know, it may, negotiating the 15 seconds may take a little time. What I'm telling you is, you can, as long as you get enough 60s and enough 30s, you can get some 15-second spots. The reason why I like the 15-second spots is, to me, it's not all about the number, the quantity of time. It's about the quantity of spots. If you do 7 15-second spots, that person has heard your advertisement 7 times. If you do 7 60-second spots, that person has heard your advertisement 7 times. If you do 7 30-second spots, that person has heard your advertisement 7 times. Plus, the 15-second spots are a lot cheaper than the 60-second spots, right? It's probably about a fourth cheaper than the 60-second spots. Now, you say, well, how much are spots? I mean, it just depends. You have major metropolitan areas, you got rural areas. I mean, it just depends on, in a major area, Dallas, Atlanta, New York, DC, a spot could be $150 per spot. If you're talking about radio stations that are syndicated, which are heard all over the country, it could be $200, $300 a spot. It just depends. But again, that spot is for 60 seconds. So you divide that by 4, and that's going to tell you what your 15-second spot look like. You divide that by 2, that's going to tell you what your 30-second spot look like. So, you can create the budget. But the bottom line is, I would say that if you're going to advertise on the radio, you probably need to buy at least 15 to 20 spots. Look to spending money on buying at least 15 to 20 spots, and then you can determine, you can negotiate, how you want to spread those spots out and where you want to spread them out. Now, again, that's a heavier conversation than just, this 10-minute video, 10-15-minute video. So what I'm going to tell you is, if you really want to talk about radio advertisement, you got some questions about, building that radio advertisement, just go to my website and hit me up, and sign up for a 30-minute consult, and we can backtrack into what you're really looking for. So then when you get ready to talk to your radio sales agent, then you can really go in guns blazing and not just go in wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. But I'll tell you, I mean, of course, that radio is heavy, man. You can reach your market. You can reach your market real quick by advertising on the radio, and you don't necessarily have to do it with the all out blast at one time. You can hit the Sundays or those later time periods, and then build up to that, right? Now I say Sundays because normally Sunday spots are a little cheaper than weekday spots. That's a whole nother conversation, man. But hit me up on my website, TerrodRobertson.com, if you really want to go more in depth on creating a radio advertisement marketing plan. But I just want to let you know that. Now, here's another thing. If you can team up with, if you're not a nonprofit and you can team up with a nonprofit, you might be able to get a couple of free spots, right? If you buy 20 spots, you might be able to negotiate 2 or 3 free spots, and those free spots could be, you coming on live with the morning show in the morning time, or you being able to pop on with the evening drive, the evening drive at 5, whatever that spot, whatever that station may be for you, or that time place may be for you in your local area. Bottom line is, nonprofits, you may be able to say, hey, by me being a nonprofit, or my business being a nonprofit, do you have any leeway for some charity spots, right? Whatever they want to call it in your area. They are there. Trust me, they are there. Ask for them. You don't ask, you'll never get, right? That's real talk. But bottom line is, you don't have to give it doesn't have to be 100% charity deal. It could be, you doing 10% for charity or 5% for charity, but you're doing something for charity, and they want to be able to capture those dollars as well, saying that they're giving back to charity, giving back to the community. Listen, this radio advertisement could be heavy. But oh yeah. Here's the thing. Another thing is last thing. Website. You may want to advertise on their website. Negotiate that. If you're buying multiple radio spots on the air, negotiate getting some web space, some banner space on the website. I'm telling you, people are going to websites now. And the other thing is, you may be able to advertise on the streaming radio. Trust me, people are listening to their phones and to their computers and listen to the radios on their phones and their computers. You get some ad spots on the streaming, and typically streaming is a little cheaper than being on the air. Now, sometimes they'll tell you, you got to get X amount of spots, or at least you need to be buying spots on the air in order to buy spots streaming. Negotiate that. Look, man, go to my website, TerrodRobinson.com, and I'm telling you, we can really come up with some creative ways. We can really come up with some creative ways on how you can create an advertising budget for radio. Radio could be huge for you, and it doesn't really have to be super expensive. I think when I did my first radio campaign, I may have spent $1,500. And I probably got, I don't know, I think I was negotiating spots at $20, $25, and I was spreading them around. But I was spreading them around to my target. I wasn't necessarily spreading them around to different time segments that I don't think were good for me. You know your market better than you do. Oh, here's another thing. In order for you to really know when your market is listening to the radio. Back in the day, you could request the Arbitron scan sheet, the Arbitron report. The Arbitron report would tell you how many listeners are listening at a certain time, how many listeners listen to that particular radio station. It'll tell you the demographics, African American, white, Asians, kids, the different ages, 13 to 18, 24 to 30, whatever the case may be. It'll give you all the information on the demographics. I think the Nielsen guys actually bought Arbitron. So when you talk to your sales agent, you can request the Nielsen report. You want to know how many people listen to the station. Then you can really make some sound decisions on when you want to advertise. And also request a copy of their spot sheet, so you'll know how much they're charging per spot. You don't want to pay the amount that they're paying per spot. So you want to get to that point to where you're negotiating the actual rates. For instance, if it's $100 per spot, you may say, hey, I only want to pay $75 per spot. And everything is negotiable. Now, you may have to buy more spots, but at least you're getting that cost down, okay? And you're getting more spots. Remember, it takes about 7 times for a listener to hear you before they're really paying attention. So do you only want to get 7 spots? No, you at least want to get 20 spots. So they done heard you, after that 7th time, they're hearing you over and over. Think about it. If you can get spots for $20 and you can get 20 spots for $20, you're at what? $400. Okay? So that budget, you can create that, but listen, I can't really give you all that information in 10 minutes, man, 14, 15 minutes. I need you to, here's the deal. If you need to really go more in depth about radio advertisement, before you really start talking to your sales agent and creating a budget, go to my website, set up a 30-minute consult, man, and let's get you on the right track. Anyway, if you haven't already, go out to Amazon, pick up my book, The Best Idea I Ever Had. Right now, had a million ideas. Go out there, check it out. I'm telling you, it's the best business book. It's the best business book on the market. It's the best entrepreneur book on the market, and everybody needs to have it on their bookshelf. Listen, man, I can't go any more into this about radio advertisement. If you need anything, hit me up. My website, TerrodRobinson.com. Once again, thank you for joining in, logging on, watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you win again next week.